How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Exela. Many are saying, Dre, have you been seeing it pull back? Exela has gone down so much. And of course, I've been keeping an eye on it. I keep it on my watch list. And you guys know I love the trade off for the fluctuations. But of course, there haven't been any big time opportunities. But I'll be talking about that today inside of the video. But before we get started, of course, we got to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We also want to know resistance. We have been seeing it pull back quite a bit. It broke through the 21-day EMA like I spoke about in the previous videos. So I want to see where you guys can actually have a clear picture of where the potential as far as the pullback can actually continue to. And then we're going to be taking a look at Fintel at the short interest information. Are shorts still heavily vested in this play? We're going to be finding out. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Were institutions loading up on shares today, or have they been loading up for the past 5 trading days? We're going to figure that out as well. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Exela. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $2.35, being down 9.62%. On the low, it tested $2.33, and then on the high, testing $2.54. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 24.916 million shares, and as far as for the average volume over 10 trading days, being at 31.55 million shares. So taking everything into consideration, we had some below average volume, and also we are experiencing a sector rotation. So we see that Exela has been pulling back quite a bit, but also this is not surprising, and we're going to get into the reason why as well. If we take a look now at our indicators here, we see from the RSI down below, it's in the oversold territory, being at 43.79. And now when we take a look at the indicators on our chart, we have strength above the 200-day, the 100-day, but we have broken through the 21-day EMA, and I talked about this in the last video that I created on Exela and why this is a bearish trend that could possibly happen. And now we're seeing that the stock is actually pulling back quite a bit. So as far as where it's sitting and where it closed at 235, I'll be keeping an eye on this area. It is an area of support, but if it does decide to end up breaking, then of course you want to see how well it's going to hold up around 226, and then you'd want to see some strength right here off the 100-day around $2.15. So if it gets down to $2.15, like I was saying, you want to see some strength there. If it ends up breaking through, then of course we're going to see a test of the 200-day here at $2.04. So with all of that said, in order for us to start seeing a reversal in Exela, you're going to want to see it come back to reclaim the 21-day EMA, where now it sets at $2.79. We did test $2.54 on the day, so that means for tomorrow, you're going to want to see Exela actually make a move above this. If it's unable to do that, then of course you want to see how well this 236 will hold, but it'll be more likely we would experience an even bigger pullback. And of course, that's where I was saying we want to see some strength bouncing off that 224, 225 area before testing the 100-day. So we're going to be taking a look at the short interest information for Exela. So as we scroll down on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.3 million, updated 6 minutes ago. And as far as for the short ball fee rate, it is at 6.01, updated 6 minutes ago as well. Taking a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see here right away for August the 13th, which was last week Friday, it was at 51.17. And then for the 16th, which was a close yesterday, it was at 35.95. 5. So taking this into consideration here, we still have short squeeze potential inside of Exela. But one thing to keep in mind, the short interest has gone down since the price has been pulling back. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this. The updated numbers will come out later on in the evening, but it'll be very interesting to see, especially since we've been seeing dramatic changes in the overall stock price. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Exela. So we can see here on the inflow, it's at 13,123, and then on the outflow, it's at 9,921. So on the large, we have 2,567 on the inflow side. On the medium side, we have 7,693, and then on the small, we have 2,862. On the outflow side, on the large, we have 2,796. On the medium, we have 5,418. And then on the small, we have 1,707. So we ended up having an inflow day. But as far as for the large scale orders in the last 5 days, it has been outflows for the past 4. We did have an inflow day on August the 11th. So we can see institutions have been dumping shares by taking a look at the large scale orders. But do keep in mind, we're seeing a lot of purchasing on the small and as well as the medium sized orders. So institutions can be taking part in this, but also we have to take into consideration retail, maybe buying up the dip and so on. So just know, if you're inside of this play, you make sure you continue to do your homework and as well as your due diligence here, because from what I'm seeing from the order flow, we want to look forward to actually seeing some sort of inflow days for Exela. But like we talked about inside the technical analysis, pay attention to those areas of support and you should have a good idea of where the direction can go, especially depending on how the market is looking like on that particular day. So now let's jump into the final thoughts. So for my final thoughts for Exela, as far as a trading strategy is concerned, I will not be trading it whatsoever. Like I was saying previously, it fell below the 21-day EMA. I've seen a lot of changes in volume and also the shift that we have going on inside of the market. I feel like it's just not worth the effort going into it. But for anyone who is holding shares and you believe in the long-term prospects, there can be an opportunity here as far as taking advantage of the dip. I know many of you have high cost averages. So again, that's something for you just to actually look into. For anyone that wants to go in and swing trade this stock regardless, then I would pay attention to those areas of support and making sure you have the right indicator set up so you can actually get in with a great entry. Entry is so key here just to make sure that you're maximizing your overall profits. So when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, Exela does continue to have short squeeze potential. But one thing we are noticing, the short interest has gone down quite a bit. So does that mean we're actually getting close to the bottom when it comes to Exela? Hey, this may be the case, but I am not going to confirm that as of yet. But if shorts are actually not having as much interest into shorting Exela, it's one thing to keep an eye on, especially if the stock does decide to pull back, because if the short interest ends up being even lower, then of course we can look forward to actually seeing some more natural moves in price action. So continue to keep it on your radar, do your homework, do your due diligence to make sure if you're inside of this play, you know exactly what you need to do and you're not lost. I want to make sure I really emphasize this because I just want to make sure anytime you're about to push that buy button or even that sell button, you know exactly what you're doing and you're doing what is best for you and your particular situation. Hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.